Madagascar a little wild. This is the best anime to ever exist. The character arcs are compelling. The drama is real. And I cried 1,000 times while watching the masterpiece as this show. Like, when Melman really needed that cheering up, I'll be sure to stream the soundtrack when it drops on Spotify. Hopefully it goes platinum. Duncanville. So, Fox doesn't really have the strongest animation lineup. Simpsons and Family Guy are still languishing from series rot. And while Bless the Hearts isn't that bad of a show, the art style makes you want to blow chunks. Bob's Burgers is good, but you can't survive on that show alone. So here comes Duncanville. And the show was actually pretty entertaining, yeah, I said it. The characters actually behave like teenagers for once. Thank God, I'm sick of all these Riverdale and 13 Reasons Why type shows where the teenagers act like they're in college. But no, in this show, the teenagers actually act like teenagers. And it's pretty relatable for me. It's also very high on the awkwardness, but that just comes with being a teen. It's not the best show, but it's good for what it is. Love Monster. HBO Max has been quietly acquiring some British preschool shows for their service. I mean, you can't survive on Sesame Street alone, so it helps to have some preschool shows on there for little kids, I guess. And Love Monster is a hell of a lot better than Mia's Magic Playground. This show has pretty neat animation that reminds you of a children's picture book. Also reminds you of Ugly Dolls. Not the movie, the dolls. And, it's just a very chill show. I like the hip-hop or R&B soundtrack. Just very chill and relaxing. And it's a show that actually teaches kids to deal with their emotions. And Love Monster seems like an actual kid. So yeah, pretty cute and charming show. Ollies Pack. Definitely the weakest of the big three Nickelodeon cartoons this year between this, Glitch Tex, and It's Pony, but the show isn't bad. You can tell that there's so much that the writers want to do. You can tell that they have a big story and serialization in mind. But Nickelodeon had to bog it down because they're very allergic to story-driven shows. I mean, very allergic. I mean, look how they treated Welcome to the Wayne. Anyways, there's a lot to like about the show. The characters are enjoyable, and the animation is very bouncy and expressive, and the music reminds me of video game 8-bit music. I just wish that the show reached its full potential, because I know it can. Doug Unplugs. Another charming little show for the younger set, but older people may get enjoyment out of it too. And the show is surprisingly pretty deep. It's all about non-conformity and rejecting the role that society has put on you. Because you see, Doug is a little yellow robot, and instead of just doing what he's told to do like a normal robot, he does his own thing. He's a bit of a rebel, and I like that. And he's just learning all about basic human concepts with his friend Emma. It's a little like Ready Jet Go. And the show was also made by Dan Yakarina, who also brought us other charming little shows like Oswald for Nick Jr. and Will's Wildlife for Kubo. I just wish that the show was animated in 2D and it looked like this. Yeah, this is the book that the show is based on. And it looks so cool. It's like a UPA show. The CGI isn't bad at all. I just like the 2D better, that's all. The Mighty Ones. Just a very grungy, punk, outdoor show. And even though it's made by DreamWorks, it reminds me a lot of a Nickelodeon cartoon. Maybe because both of the creators for the show worked on several Nickelodeon shows before going on to make the show. And you know what? The show was actually pitched to Nickelodeon before they rejected it, and they shopped it to DreamWorks, who gladly picked it up. Like, the show has a lot of soul, and is very fun, like something you would watch on Saturday mornings. It reminds me of Harvey Beaks. Well, the show is sillier than Harvey Beaks, but the backgrounds and the outdoor setting remind me of Harvey Beaks. It also reminds me of Pig Up Banana Cricket. Not because it's gross, but because it's just four characters just vibing. Definitely a nice little show if you want to turn your brain off. It's on both Hulu and Peacock if you want to check it out. Trash Truck. This is yet another cute and calm little preschool show. This time it's made by the legend himself, Glenn Keane. Yes, the Glenn Keane who worked on movies like Beauty and the Beast and Aladdin. Like I said, the show is very calm, just about the wonders and joys of childhood, like just trying new things, and just overall being a kid. And even though the show prominently features a giant garbage truck, the show is anything but garbage. No, it's a treasure and a gem that must be protected at all costs because all the characters are just baby cinnamon rolls. Take and Seek. This show was supposed to air on Cartoon Network, but it got dumped to HBO Max. Nonetheless, it's a pretty good show. It's a bit more for the younger audience, but it's not for preschoolers. And don't expect a deep story or anything. But shows don't have to have deep stories to be good, you know. They could just have comedy or slice of life, just characters vibing. And shows are good either way. It reminds me a bit of Blue's Clues. Because there's this guy with his blue pet and they solve mysteries together. Sometimes it can be a bit boring, but it's just cute and fun. The Funjis. Like Take and Seek, this was banished to HBO Max, and although it's more for a younger audience, it isn't a preschool show either, and it's just very cute. Just a very soft little show, reminds you of 80s shows. In a good way. You know, like the Smurfs and Fraggle Rock, these weird creatures living together in harmony, just vibing. And I like the 80s synth-pop soundtrack too. And it reminds me of Clarence a lot too, especially with the title cards. They were made from real things. Very, very impressive show. And if you watch it, you can just watch it if you want to calm down. Just comforting. Stillwater. Forget Dingle Tiger. This show is the true Mr. Rogers the Animated Series. The show is phenomenal in every way. The animation looks like Pixar. And the music is very calming. And Stillwater himself is a very gentle host who, like I said, evokes Fred Rogers. Like, very calm and patient, just like Fred Rogers himself. And it incorporates Chinese culture by telling Chinese folktales. And when Stillwater tells his folktales, they're animated in a very beautiful 2D that could give Disney a run for its money. Seriously. Like Trash Truck, this show is just about the joys of childhood, learning life lessons, and just a bunch of friends vibing. They're just two very calm and comforting shows, okay? These are my comfort shows. And don't forget that the soundtrack is goated, especially the theme song.